Welcome back to All Things Soggy Buns.
Ooh, I like that.
Today we're diving deep
Deep.
into potato buns from scratch.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
This recipe we're looking at, it's from the blog, Handle the Heat.
Oh.
And get this,
Okay.
Toby and Ola,
Right?
the masterminds
Yeah.
behind the Soggy Buns food truck and catering service here in Maryland,
I love them.
they actually use this recipe for their buns.
Seriously.
So we know we're in good hands.
Those buns are fantastic.
So let's jump right in.
Okay. Yeah.
The author of this recipe really focuses on making the perfect bun.
Yeah.
And she describes them as light yet sturdy.
Okay.
What do you think about that description?
Well, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
You want a bun that's going to be able to hold all the good stuff
Right.
without falling apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants a soggy bun?
Nobody.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But making buns from scratch can be a little intimidating.
Yeah, can be.
What do you think makes this recipe worth the effort?
Well, she says right off the bat
Okay.
that these homemade buns are so much better than store-bought.
Okay.
And, looking at the ingredients, I think that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, she uses a mix of all-purpose and bread flour,
Right.
and bread flour is really key here.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, it has a higher protein content,
Okay.
so it gives the bun more structure and chewiness.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just use all-purpose flour?
Well, you can,
Okay.
but it's going to change the texture,
Okay.
and, how long the dough needs to rise
Gotcha.
might not rise as much.
So it's worth getting that bread flour?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have a confession.
Okay.
Yeast. And
I know.
we have a complicated relationship.
I understand.
Can you walk me through the yeast in this recipe?
Of course.
Okay.
So this recipe uses instant yeast,
Oh,
which is super convenient.
yeah.
But if you only have active dry, you can go definitely swap it in. It's a 1-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
But you just have to
Yeah.
give active dry yeast a little wake-up call.
Okay. How do you do that?
Just mix it with some warm water
Oh, okay.
for 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
Let it get all foamy.
Mhm.
Then you're good to go.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the potato.
Yes.
What role does it play in these buns?
It's not just for the name.
Okay.
You really want that potato flavor
Yeah.
infused in the dough.
Gotcha.
And the recipe uses fresh potatoes,
Not flakes.
not flakes.
Okay.
No instant mashed potatoes here.
Gotcha.
You got to cook the potato till it's super tender.
Okay.
Then you let it cool completely,
Mhm.
and then you mash it until it's
Yeah.
completely smooth.
Oh, wow.
A potato ricer is really good for this.
Oh, okay.
If you have one.
So we're really going all out here.
Yeah.
Now I see this recipe calls for brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Are these sweet buns?
That's a great question. So it uses 3 tablespoons of brown sugar,
Okay.
but it's not like a desserty bun.
Okay.
It adds this subtle sweetness that
Wow.
really complements the other flavors.
Interesting.
And it helps the buns brown,
Oh, okay.
really nicely.
So you need that sugar in there.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can reduce it to 2 tablespoons if you want,
Okay.
if you don't want it to be as sweet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the eggs and butter in this recipe?
Oh, those are key for flavor and texture.
Okay. How so?
Gee, the eggs add richness,
Okay.
and they help bind all the ingredients together.
Okay.
And then the melted butter,
Yeah.
that gives the buns a nice soft texture.
Okay.
And, of course, more flavor.
Right, of course.
And she even suggests brushing the tops of the buns
Okay.
with more melted butter when they come out of the oven.
For extra richness?
Yeah.
I love that.
Gives them a nice sheen, too.
Okay, so we're going all out.
Yeah.
Lots of butter.
We love butter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are intimidated by kneading.
Yeah.
What's the best way to handle the kneading for these buns?
So this recipe uses a stand mixer,
Okay.
which, I mean, if you have one,
Right.
super convenient. But if you don't,
Yeah.
you can totally knead by hand.
Okay.
It's a great workout.
Yeah.
And you really get to connect with the dough.
Okay.
Feel how the texture changes.
Yeah.
The key is to knead until it's smooth and elastic.
What does that mean?
So basically that means you've developed the gluten,
Okay.
which will give you those nice
Yeah.
fluffy buns.
Okay, cool. I've heard
The
that
dough, yeah.
a sticky dough
Oh, yeah.
is actually a good thing for this kind of bun.
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
So it might seem counterintuitive,
Right.
but it means you're on the right track to getting those light and airy buns.
Okay.
A lot of people see a sticky dough and
Yeah.
they want to add more flour,
Right.
but that can actually make the buns dense and tough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so resist the urge.
So we're embracing the sticky.
Embrace the sticky.
Okay, got it. So what's the best way to handle that sticky dough?
So she recommends just dampening your hands,
Right,
a little
so-
bit of water,
Right.
so it creates a barrier
Right.
between your skin and the dough.
Okay.
And then it's easier to shape the buns.
I love that tip.
That's a good one.
Okay, well, before we move on, I
Yeah.
just want to remind everyone
Yes.
that you can actually experience these potato buns
Oh, yeah.
at Soggy Buns,
Yes.
Toby and Ola's amazing food truck
I love it.
and catering company right here in Maryland.
The best buns.
You can find them at soggybuns.com.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
BUNZ.com.
Got it. Easy.
Okay,
All right.
so back to the recipe.
Yeah.
How do we shape these buns to get that perfect bakery look?
Okay, so it all starts with creating surface tension.
Okay.
So when you shape the dough into a tight ball, you're basically stretching
Yeah.
the gluten strands on the surface. Okay.
And this helps the buns rise upwards
Okay.
instead of outwards.
Gotcha.
So you get that nice dome shape.
So we're going for height, not width.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens if you don't get that tight ball?
Well, they might spread out more when they bake,
Oh.
so you end up with like a flatter bun,
Oh, okay.
which, you know, it's not just about looks.
Right.
It also affects the texture.
Okay.
You want that light and airy texture.
Yeah.
And a well-shaped bun will help with that.
Okay, so it's all connected.
It is.
Now, the recipe mentions dividing the dough into 6 equal pieces.
Right.
Can we just eyeball it?
So I would say
Yeah.
when it comes to baking,
Yeah.
precision is your friend.
Okay.
Using a kitchen scale
Okay.
to divide the dough,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to make sure that each bun bakes evenly
Gotcha.
and they all have a consistent texture.
So less guesswork.
Exactly.
Okay.
Takes the guesswork out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about if you want to make the dough in advance? You can?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can refrigerate the dough after you need it.
Okay.
Just make sure you cover it tightly with plastic wrap
Okay.
so it doesn't dry out.
Gotcha.
And then when you're ready to bake,
Mm-hmm.
just bring it back to room temperature.
Okay.
Shape the buns
Mm-hmm.
and then bake as usual.
So you could make the dough like the night before
Yeah.
and then just bake them fresh in the morning.
Exactly.
I love that. Now, what about freezing?
You can freeze the baked buns.
Okay.
Once they've cooled completely,
Mm-hmm.
just put them in an airtight container
Okay.
or a freezer bag,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll keep for a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
And then when you're ready to eat them,
Yeah.
just defrost at room temperature
Okay.
and then reheat them gently in the oven.
Gotcha.
They'll taste just as good
I'd love that.
as the day you baked them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I could have a stash
Mm.
of fresh baked buns
Yeah.
ready to go at any time. I mean, that's the dream, right?
That's the dream.
Yeah.
You know, I bet Toby and Ola
Oh, yeah.
have some pro tips
They nice.
for freezing buns.
Yeah.
You've seen their operation.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's so impressive.
Probably.
I mean, they're so organized and efficient.
Yeah.
They clearly really care about
Yeah.
quality
It
ingredients.
shows in their food.
Definitely.
So good.
It's amazing.
So if you haven't tried soggy buns yet,
Get on it.
yeah, you're missing out.
For sure.
Be sure to check out their website, soggybuns.com.
Uh-huh.
That's B-U-N-Z.
BUNZ.com.
Okay.
To see their menu
Mhm.
and find out where they're going to be next.
Yeah, they're always moving around.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the recipe.
All right.
What about freezing the dough itself?
Oh, yeah. You can do that too.
You can.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like with refrigerating.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in an airtight container or freezer bag.
Okay.
And then when you're ready to bake.
Just thaw it in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
Let it come to room temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And then shape and bake as usual.
So convenient.
It is.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the author of this recipe,
Mm-hmm.
she suggests that these buns
Yeah.
are the perfect canvas
Okay.
for all sorts of fillings.
Yeah.
What are your favorite combinations?
Oh, gosh. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Right.
I'm a classic gal.
Okay.
I love a juicy cheeseburger
Mm-hmm.
with all the fixings
Yeah.
on a fluffy potato bun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Classic.
the sweetness of the bun just like
Yeah.
complements the savory flavors of the burger so well.
I can almost taste it.
Right.
It's so good.
So good.
Now, I bet Toby and Ola
Oh, yeah.
have some incredible burger creations
I mean, they must.
featuring these buns.
Yeah, their creativity is amazing.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
I love them. Okay.
Good too.
So their food truck is like a culinary playground for bun lovers.
It really is.
And if you're looking for some inspiration,
Okay.
check out their website, soggybunz.com.
Bunz.
That's BUNZ.com.
Got it. Okay.
You can see their menu,
Mm-hmm.
find out where they'll be next.
Cool.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the recipe.
Right.
What about freezing the dough itself?
Oh, yeah. You can totally freeze the dough
Excellent.
after you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Same deal as refrigerating.
Okay,
Airtight container or freezer bag.
gotcha.
And then when you're ready to bake,
Yeah,
thaw it in the fridge overnight.
okay.
Let it come to room temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And then just shape and bake as usual.
So easy.
Super easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like having fresh baked bun potential,
Right.
just waiting in the freezer.
Exactly.
Okay, so the author of this recipe,
Mm-hmm.
she says that these buns
Yeah.
are the perfect canvas
Okay.
for all sorts of fillings.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of your favorite combinations?
Okay. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Right.
But I'm a purist at heart. I love a classic cheeseburger with all the fixings.
All the fixings.
Lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles.
Mm-hmm.
You know the works
Yeah.
on a fluffy potato bun?
Oh, my gosh. It's just
It's the best.
so good.
The bun really makes the burger,
It does.
doesn't it?
I think so.
It's the foundation.
Yeah.
It's got to be good.
It's got to be good.
Now, I bet Toby and Ola
Oh, for sure.
have some pretty amazing burger creations.
I mean, their menu is incredible.
yeah.
I've seen pictures.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of stuff do they have?
So they've got like
Yeah.
a classic smash burger,
Okay.
which is like thin and crispy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have like these like gourmet burgers
Oh,
with
wow.
like fancy toppings,
Like what?
like truffle aioli
Ooh.
and like caramelized onions.
Oh, my God.
And like,
I'm so hungry.
I know, right?
Okay, so we need to take a field trip
We do.
to Soggy Buns.
ASAP.
And I'm sure they got other stuff on the menu, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Besides burgers.
They have like sandwiches
Yeah.
and like salads, and they have like
Yeah.
amazing sides,
Okay, like what?
like truffle fries
Ooh.
and like onion rings.
Okay, stop.
It
You're
really-
making me too hungry.
It sounds so good.
I know. We got to go.
You gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back to the recipe.
Okay.
It's amazing to me
Yeah.
how this recipe
Mm-hmm.
can take a simple bun
Right.
and elevate it
Yes.
to something so special.
It's the details.
It is.
Yeah.
And the ingredients.
And the technique.
Yeah.
It all matters.
So what's next?
Okay, so.
What I love about this recipe is that it really empowers you
Yeah.
to make those amazing buns
Mm-hmm.
right at home.
Yeah, you don't have to settle for store-bought anymore.
Right?
I can have those like
Yeah.
bakery-style buns in
Yeah.
your own kitchen,
And it's not even that hard.
right? I mean, it takes a little effort,
Yeah.
but it's so worth it.
It's so worth it.
When you bite into that like
Yeah.
soft, fluffy bun,
Yeah.
it's just like
It's just so good.
it's a game changer.
And it's a game changer. And, you know,
Yeah.
we talked about the sticky dough
Mm-hmm.
and how that can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But once you understand why,
Right.
it makes it so much
And
easier
what's about the science?
to just trust the process
Yeah.
and not add more flour,
Right.
even though you want to.
I know it's tempting,
It is tempting.
but you got to resist.
Resist the urge.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean
Okay.
for you, dear listener?
Yeah.
You have the power
You do.
to make these incredible buns
Mm-hmm.
right in your own kitchen.
Amazing.
No more settling
No more settling.
for dry,
Yeah.
dense,
Sure.
store-bought buns.
Yeah.
You can experience the joy
Yes.
of biting into that perfect bun.
Oh, good.
And you know what?
What?
Don't be afraid
Oh, yeah.
to experiment with this recipe. Try different flours,
Mm-hmm.
add some herbs,
Oh,
sprinkle on some seeds,
I love that.
maybe even play around with different shapes.
Yeah, make it your own.
Make it your own, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Okay.
Our deep dive
Mm-hmm.
into homemade potato buns.
We did it.
We did it.
We covered it all.
We covered the ingredients, the techniques,
The science.
the science.
The freezing tips.
We embraced the sticky.
We embraced the sticky.
Yes.
And of course, we can't forget
the masters,
Toby and Ola,
Toby and Ola,
the masterminds behind Soggy Bunz,
the best.
who have turned these potato buns
Yeah.
into a culinary sensation.
Right here in Maryland.
If you're ever in the area,
Yeah.
be sure to check them out.
You won't regret it.
You can find them at soggybunz.com,
BUNZ.
BUNZ.com.
Okay.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with this.
Okay.
What will your signature bun creation be?
Ooh.
What flavors
toppings,
fillings
fillings.
to make these buns your own.
Possibilities.
Thank you for joining us
Thanks for listening.
on this episode of All Things Soggy Buns.
Bye.
Happy baking.
Happy baking.
And may your buns always be fluffy and delicious.
Yes.